guys, it's your girl T, and I have a crazy story that's coming out of our favorite state, Ratchet ass Florida. So what's going on now in Florida, you ask? What's going on is that there's another case of some type of zombie bath salts attack. If you guys remember 2 years ago, we had the case of Rudy Eugene. He was known as the Coswell zombie, where he was seen on the bridge literally eating this man's face, and the police officers shot and killed him to death. Well, now we have another case that's going on in Florida, and this whole situation is just nuts. I'm going to go ahead and play you guys a news clip, and I will come back with the rest of my commentary.
Biting rampage that led to his own violent death. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Liz Quidantis.
And I'm John DeCepolo. New information tonight on the man who sheriff's deputies say terrorized a local neighborhood naked. 2 people were attacked, with one of them bitten in the face. Even a 10-year-old boy was hurt trying to get away.
Tonight, in an exclusive interview, Sheriff Rick Bradshaw revealed the attacker to be Anderson Joseph of West Palm Beach. CBS 12's Israel Balderas is in West Palm with one man's terrifying personal account of what really went down.
He looked like he was out of his mind. He looked like he was ready to hurt somebody.
Delray Beach resident Robert Friskney was coming home from work Tuesday night. When he pulled up to his residential community, sheriff's deputies were in front of the security gate trying to get a naked man to surrender.
Clearly, he's angry, disgruntled. He's like an animal.
And then, as he recorded the scene on his phone,
he actually lunges for the officer, and you hear the 2 shots, and he actually touched the officer's leg.
He exhibited all the classic signs of this excited delirium.
Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw says it was apparent to his deputies that the man they shot and killed Tuesday night was either mentally ill or high on drugs. There had been reports that the man we now know as Anderson Joseph of West Palm Beach had attacked several people on the street.
And very quiet, coming and going, hardly a peep, no
Ian
distractions.
Crump, who didn't want us to show his face, describes Anderson, a neighbor, as quiet.
Just normal neighborly, hi, how are you kind of thing. Never would have expected something like this.
He really put the officers in potentially mortal danger.
Back at Robert's house, talking about the recorded video from Tuesday night, you see Anderson Joseph trying to get up a minute after he was shot 3 times by deputies and continue his attack. Out of concern for his family that could have been in danger, Robert calls the officers heroes.
Very disturbing that this actually happened so close to my home, so close to my family.
We're back out live in suburban West Palm Beach in front of the offices of the attorney who represents Anderson Joseph's family, Burns Guillaume. Burns, thank you so much for joining us live here tonight.
Absolutely.
My first question is, how's the family doing?
Well, the family right now is distraught. They're saddened. They're in shock over what has occurred to their son, to their brother. And so at this point, they just want answers. They want to know what led to this, what could have occurred to where an unarmed man and the police using deadly force in an unarmed man.
Let me ask you this. It's been 24 hours, but what is your investigation? What are you going to hope to find?
Well, we just want to come to the bottom of this. We want to know what happened. We want the facts. We want the truth. I got to tell you, I'm a former prosecutor. I respect the police, and I know they do a very dangerous job, and they do it, and they work hard. But there has to be an answer to where an unarmed man came and they used deadly force. So we just need to figure out what occurred, and we need to find out some answers.
All right. Burns, thank you so much for joining us live here. Reporting live in suburban West Palm Beach, I'm Israel Balderas, CBS 12 News.
What's the last name?
Tony Grime.
Okay, so I know you've kind of already been through this with the other guys so far.
Yeah.
So can you just walk me through what happened last night? And
Yeah, sure. We were here. Well, I'm sorry, not we. I was walking here, and my sister was out there by the garbage can throwing away her stuff, and I was throwing away mine because I was helping my dad in the back. And I had my box cutter with me because we were cutting plastic. And as I'm going to toss it out, she told me that there was some naked man that was, a naked man that had ran by. And then I told her, okay, well, then go inside because I'm messing up. I'm sorry.
that's okay.
It's been a long day.
I know,
So I'm walking, and I see a shadowy figure on the left side of the house. Then I went to go see my sister, and then she told me there was a naked man. I told her to go inside, and then the moment I told her to go inside, I went to go toss my stuff out and look, and he's running at her. So then I ran after him, and we kind of collided and hit by the gate and fell. And then he went to bite me, and I had my box cutter, so I just started stabbing. And then he started to choke me at the same time as he's biting me, and the gate at like the perfect time came, like it was auto close gate, so it's closing and pushing his face off of me and his arms, so he wouldn't choke me or bite me. And it kind of got stuck halfway and stopped. And then my dad came rushing, and they had like a little like fight or whatever, and then he ran, and my dad chased him.
When you say gate, what do you mean? What are you referring to? Like a gate that shuts?
Yeah,
or
it's
one of
the
these right here. Was he on the
right
ground
there.
then at that point?
Yeah, we both were. I was underneath him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the gate was starting to shut.
Yeah.
At that time.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened then? The gate's starting to shut, and then what
it's
do
like
you do?
like well, honestly, I'm just kind of struggling, like, because he's choking me, he's biting me. I'm trying to like, I don't have like a plan. It's not like I planned to get out of the gate, but it's just like it was happening, so I was just like trying to like fight it off, and the gate just went past and pushed him off, and I don't know, I see it as a blessing of God, like he was trying to save me, give me mercy.
You were stabbing him in the face?
You had the box cutter we heard, and
yeah, it was in the face, it didn't even faze him.
We heard this guy was like huge, like 6'3", big guy.
Yeah, he was like a rock, man. It was really scary. And even after repeated stabbing in the face, like it's not like he stopped. It didn't like affect him.
Did he say anything to you while this was going on? Were there any? Could you
just
gauge,
like grunts and heavy breathing, really.
Could you gauge? Did he smell like alcohol or anything? Was there?
Honestly, I don't remember a smell. Like maybe it was musky, but I wouldn't be able to remember. I was just worried about getting out of there.
Do you remember what he looked like at all? I know it was dark out.
Yeah, it was. He was bald. He had like a little bit of a beard growing, like stubble. Like I said, really big, tall, musky, with like built like a rock.
And you said he had started going after your sister, so you stepped in to...
Before he could even touch her, I got to him, so...
And then I'm sure it was your sister just kind of...
She just ran. Yeah, and once she ran, she went to go get my dad, and then he came and just before he could get around and get to me, my dad got him, and they were fighting, and then they ran, and then...
So you got away at that point. Did he like run off or something, or what happened?
Yeah, what happened at that point, I came running to the front, and I seen my son pinned under the gate and this guy on top of him. And I figured, okay, well, let me get him off of my son and distract him. And so I punched him, and we tussled a little bit, but I noticed that he was very powerful and very big. So I figured I better stay away from him and stay back, because if he gets a hold of me, then, most likely, I'll die and my son will die. And so what happened then is he must have got spooked, and he started running up the street. And I ran after him, and I knew my son was pinned under the gate, but I knew that there was the rest of my family in the house to save my son, and that he was going to make it without any serious injury. So I ran in hot pursuit of the suspect up the street as fast as I could, but the suspect was outrunning me, by a lot. And I'm calling 911, and when I get up to the corner of close to Military, the suspect had already disappeared, and I wondered if he might have got into a community like the Colony across the street, and may have either sneaked in a house, got cleaned up, or may have gotten other victims. And then I heard the police say, "Stay down, stay down, stay down," and then bang, 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 bang. And then I went over to the police, and of course keeping my distance for safety, and I noticed that they had the suspect, so I went back to see my son and call an ambulance and make sure that he was all okay.
So you guys just watched the news clip. This whole situation is crazy. I'm not sure what's going on in Florida, but it's not come out that the man who did this, his name was Anderson Joseph. He was a 28-year-old man, and from what his friends and family are saying, this is not his behavior. He's had no issues with the police. He's never been on drugs. His friends and family are literally shocked by this entire situation. They decided to go to the news yesterday to come out and defend their friend. I'm going to go ahead and play you guys this news clip, and then I will come back with the rest of my commentary.
Tonight we do details about the rampaging man shot and killed by deputies in Delray Beach in a conflict caught on camera. Good evening. I'm Todd McDermott.
And I'm Tiffany Kenny. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, the friends who knew the suspect for years are talking for the first time about the man they knew.
Ari Heights live at the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office with his exclusive story tonight. Ari?
Yeah, still a lot unknown about this case. Investigators here with the Sheriff's Office have not yet released the names of the deputies involved. Still not clear what caused this violence to begin with. But the friends of Anderson Joseph tell me what really is not known about this case is who Anderson Joseph really is. This is how most of South Florida was introduced to Anison Joseph Monday night. He's known as the naked guy who attacked two people in Delray Beach before sheriff's deputies shot and killed him. Anison Joseph has been called a monster and an animal. Sally Gwanda contacted us to tell us that is not Anison Joseph.
He's an amazing person. There's not one person that I can think of that had any problem with him.
Gwanda talked about Joseph's energy and positive outlook. She asked if I wanted to talk to some of his other friends, and I agreed. Within an hour, this happened. Dozens of people crammed into a tiny room to share their love for Anison Joseph.
It would have been more, 10 times more, if, a day later, That just shows how great of a person he really was.
We call him Enno for short. He was life of the party. He was the guy that made everybody laugh.
Everybody knew Anison by his laugh. Everybody knew Anison's laugh.
And that's why this group is so shocked by what happened, so confused about how Enno died. They say he had a love of life, a future as a videographer. They just can't connect their Enno with the man at the center of the violence Monday night.
As hungry as he was, a go-getter, a young kid with dreams and goals, and actually wanted to achieve them,
He was honestly the greatest guy I ever met in my life.
We have to do what we have to do to make sure everybody knows who the real him was, and we will do that.
And it wasn't just the people in that room tonight. I got phone calls from all over the country tonight. People from Washington State, people from Ohio, all of them saying how great Enno actually was. What nobody can explain, though, is why what happened Monday night actually happened. We're live tonight.
Okay, so you guys just watched the news clip. The whole thing just doesn't make no sense. In the news article, they're saying that around 6:30, he was dropping his sister off to the Delray Beach Medical Center where she worked at. And she's saying that she didn't see any issues with him. They were having a pleasant conversation. He wasn't angry. He wasn't feeling any type of way. And then 2 hours after he dropped his sister off is when the first call came in about him attacking the first civilian. And it's really sad that nowadays you have police who shoot first and then they ask questions later. I really wish they would have just tasered him, or there were enough officers to, hold him down to find out what the hell was going on. Maybe he was on bath salts. Maybe he had took some E. Who knows? But his friends are saying that he doesn't do drugs. Who's to say that somebody didn't slip something in his drink? Who's to say that he didn't go to a gas station and get, a drink or a Slurpee and somebody put something in his drink? The whole situation makes no sense. This man was running around the streets butt naked, going crazy, attacking people, and then in the next minute he gets shot and killed by police. This is just really sad. If this can happen to him, a normal everyday person who's had no issues, no run-ins, everybody has really good things to say about this man. It's sad because this just goes to show that it could happen to any of us. Lord knows what caused this man to snap. Who knows if somebody slipped him something. The whole situation is just tragic, and now this young man is dead, and these other two victims are left to, try and wrap their heads around this tragedy. I don't know what to think about this story. It's just crazy. It's just insane. Some of the things that just come out of Florida. So anyways, go ahead, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire ratchet-ass situation that's coming out of our first favorite state, ratchet-ass Florida. All right. Deuces.